Alright, this will be a guide on how to beat SLKR with Darth Revan. I use one team for most of the common comps that we see in Arena, which will be First Order with First Order Officer, one tank, or we have double tanks with First Order Stormtrooper, and there's one more in here that you usually see is this with Malak. I'm going to go over two of them in this video. So first off, what kind of SLKR are you going to be fighting? With this one, I only check for tenacity. Speed doesn't bother me as much anymore. And looking at the tenacities, looks like I'll be okay. 77 is a little bit higher than what most people run, but that's fine. Hux, you can check for speeds, but it really doesn't matter. He could be 312, he could be 250, doesn't really make a difference. Right, so let's go right in. For turn orders, I have Bastila going first. I have her at 319. You don't need her at insane speeds. I used to do it at 300 speed, just as fine. DR will go second. I have him going just after Bastila at 316. And then I have Malak as my third fastest. However, his speed does not matter because after the first attack, he's most likely going to be going first. Thrawn, I have him at 295. And then Sith Empire Trooper, doesn't matter. I have him all defense. He just needs to take that free taunt. Alright, so going in. Alright, so SLKR is going to AoE, or attack, and then AoE. Alright, so Malak's going first, as usual. What you want to do here is get rid of that taunt. This can fail, but because we have this at certain speeds, you can recover from it. So it looks like we got it. Best case scenario, Sith Trooper gets feared. But because Malak is going again, I'm actually just going to clear all his butts. Typically, if that did not happen, I would just drain him and continue on with the strategy. Here, you can do whatever you want. I like the fear just to get those staggers out. Have DR fear again. And then you just go all out on SLKR. Make sure you fracture him. And then from here on, you just focus SLKR with Malak's. I like to divert off and just get his drains onto Sith Trooper. He needs to die first. And I just want to AoE this entire way. This guy has a shock, so let's just kill everybody slowly. Ignore everybody else while their cooldowns are increased. Nobody ever takes a turn. AoE. And before the fracture even ends, SLKR is pretty much dead. Pass a turn over to DR, and he finishes off SLKR. And then from here, if you want, you just clean it up. I used to just put it on auto, and I beat that SLKR in 2 minutes. I think the fastest I've done was 45 seconds to 55 seconds. Alright, now using the same team, we're going to go against double tank. Same thing, I want to check tenacities just to make sure that I'm not screwing myself over. 54%, that's perfect. Because this entire strategy hinges on you landing debuffs. So, we got 60% here, we're good, so let's go ahead and fight him. Oh, let's Just check speeds real quick. Doesn't matter. 242. What's Hux at? 321. Faster than usual. Going in, sainting. Now, same thing, he's gonna stun, and then Hux passes over and AoEs. And here, Malak, he has to choose who he wants to shock. I usually do the person with the highest tenacity. And then Bastila, if she would fear the other person that Malak didn't shock. Okay, that landed, and DR is going to AoE here. He's going to land shock here, he's going to increase cooldowns here, get the stagger off Hux, and give you that opening to get to SLKR. Alright, so now that was worst case scenario. I failed a shock and a buff immunity. That's why I always check for tenacity. And so now we're in recovery mode, so I'm going to pass it back to DR so that he can land his fear and another attempt at a buff immunity. And he failed again. So that's a loss. I can try to recover this, but it's not looking very likely. Thanks, DR. Thanks. Just gonna forfeit this. Let's try one more time. Alright, so since I failed this guy last time, I'm just gonna shock him, hope it lands. Awesome. Bastila fears the other tank. Landed. DR, don't be bad this time. Alright. Now it's pretty much business as usual. So here, I don't have to, but I just like to get these drains off, make the most out of them. And then I'm going to AoE. He doesn't have shock, so I'm going to do it over here. And then DR gets his fear off, and just like last time, I'm just going to keep AoEing. And that's why speed does not matter and tenacity screws over Darth Revan. I honestly don't care about Hux. He can stay low, AoE him at some point. And that's how you SLKR, or beat SLKR with DR. Let me see if there's a Malak I can practice against. 27. No, we stay away from Sith Empire here. My current comp cannot beat that, so we're just gonna go for 28, 27. I'll go 27. And same thing, I want to check tenacities, just to make sure. 55. Malak is 83%. He does have natural high tenacity. Alright, just gonna jump right in on this one. Same team. Alright, so in this case of Malak, I typically have Malak go against Malak because after the first attack, I don't care what his cooldowns look like. Alright, so you got one shot off. Bastila fears the other tank. And here, I could basic, but typically, you want to AoE here, and DR will get feared, and that's okay. Alright, he didn't land shock, but he got that buff immunity, so that's good. Alright, so but now SLKR is open, so Thrawn can go in and fracture SLKR. And here, I have to watch the board. I have to make sure that everybody's TM is staying low. I'm actually gonna have Bastila hit Sith Trooper. No AoEs because you have Malak. You don't want to get feared. So I'm just gonna basic him there. Actually, I'm gonna kill him right here. Alright, and then here you just go all out on SLKR, just no AoEs. Make sure Hux does not get a chance to pass turn over to SLKR. I don't have fear on DR, so just fear him there. Basic here. And pass turn back to DR, and then fear again. Keep all those single targets on SLKR. No AoEs. He will get a turn, but it's okay. He's ability blocked, so he's not going to AoE. Alright, and SLKR down. Now, I want to focus on Hux. Alright, I like to fracture Malak while I continue to kill Kylo. I'm actually just going to drain to get his stacks up. Continue on. No AoEs. And that's pretty much it. At this point, you just keep him ability blocked and shocked. Fracture him when you can. He'll most likely keep targeting Malak. Pass it back to DR. Probably should have ability blocked there, but that's fine. Alright, and sure, let's get him that third stack. And that's the win. Alright.